My name is Jeremy Knoll. I'm the lead organizer of the Historic Green event.
Okay, that way I can communicate.
I'm from Kansas City, Missouri, but got rolled into all of this through several people locally here in New Orleans, as well as local to me in Kansas City, who knew each other and have been working with the Neighborhood Association for the last 5 months to plan a 2-week event over spring break, inviting students from all corners of the nation to come down and participate in. We're working with homeowners on projects that they need help with. We're also working on deconstruction projects and reconstruction projects. And then spaces, we're doing rain gardens and community work, doing tree planting.
I'm Jody Wilson, and I'm here with the University of Minnesota. We're a group of architecture students. We started doing Gulf Coast work right after Katrina, and a lot of students have been spending the summers in Biloxi, and when we heard about Historic Green, we started coordinating with them and collaborating, and we got a group of 17 students together. A lot of them are down here, you know, just to get that awesome community engagement and learning experience that you really can't get a whole lot of other places. So it's really a nice opportunity for the kids to learn about all different aspects of the community and apply what they've learned in the architecture field. So.
Hey, my name is Melissa Broadmarkle, and I'm from the University of Minnesota as well. We're constructing a rain garden. Right now we're just taking out all the weeds and getting it to good planting soils.
We'll have 2 of you start at this point and work down, and then 2 more start about midway and start working the other direction so you're not in your way. And a rain garden is more of a shallow depression where you excavate out 6 or 8 inches of the soil you have in place, and you backfill it in with a little bit of compost, and you put native plants in there. And what that does is a stormwater that flows to that area, it gives it a spot to pond for short term, 24 to 48 hours tops, infiltrate through those native plant roots, which are 20 feet deep in a lot of cases, instead of the 1-inch turf grass we have now that allows the storm water to infiltrate to the ground instead of running overland. It also gives the pollutants somewhere to go. The native plants break that down. The soils and the microorganisms within the soils break down the pollutants. It also has a lot of aesthetic benefits. Attracts bees and butterflies and birds, as well as being colorful flowers for residents' neighborhoods to appreciate and enjoy.
Mike Refson from University of Minnesota. It's good work. It's good to get our Minnesota insulation burned off, so it's a good time. We're all going to be fairly sunburned by the end of the day. And we all came down here because we all wanted to do this, so hopefully we can help them make a big impact, because University of Minnesota, we're pretty tough, so.
My name's Chris Petit. I'm with the University of Minnesota. We're also here with the University of Arizona. We're both working on this house for a homeowner, and basically what we'll be doing here is scraping off all the paint and making this house look brand new with a new coat of paint, hopefully.
I am removing all the nails and staples from the house so we can get in and kind of scrape everything out. Need the hammer? So we can get everything done, taken care of, smooth, so we can get a nice clean finish. I'm from the University of Minnesota, so nice little trek down here. We checked the weather, and it was like -3 yesterday. It was nice and warm, yeah. We're happy to be down here, trust me.
Basically, we were trying to do demonstration projects for showing how to rebuild green, so you know, everyone in this community can do that. With all the construction waste that's going on, a lot of rebuilding and renovation, we're trying to reuse as much as possible and show people what can be done.
My name is Bill DuPont, and I'm a professor of architecture at the University of Texas, San Antonio.
Okay. So does this all need to be moved out?
Yeah, all this stuff is going to the dumpster. You need gloves, you need that. You got hard hats or no? No. Okay. All right, if you don't have hard hats, then stay away from. This is a Preservation Resource Center project site, and we've got volunteers trying to deconstruct just this back shed. This building's going to be salvaged and reused, but just this one little shed on the back has got to come off because it's too far gone to be saved. And then as we're doing it, we're trying to deconstruct it properly so that we separate materials, and we're putting the sheet metal in one pile so that it can be recycled, and the trash wood in another pile, and any good pieces of wood that can be reused on this project, we're going to clean them off and denail them and stack them and put them back in the building so that as the project goes forward, those pieces can be reused.
They've cleaned and are saving as much of the historic barge board as possible. I think these are close to 120 years old. This is one of the worst off projects that we're working with, but we have been also working with several other stages of projects, including completely restored shotguns like this one.
There's all kinds of good projects and good people and good volunteer efforts that have been going on for a couple of years. And there's a couple more years work left to be done. It's just amazing the scope of work that's still here. And so, you know, we're going to be doing this again next year and the year after.
My name is Ryan Hogard, and I'm from Manhattan, Kansas. This was an opportunity for us to come down and give back to the community, do something a little bit more than just sit around and plan. We could actually put our skills to use, and being a carpenter, that's anytime I get to do something with a hammer and nails is a good day.
We are nailing boards so that they can be reused in another building process.
Yeah, they kind of sort through them, and then we denail them, and then they kind of get, I don't know, sorted to be used elsewhere to reconstruct. So yeah, it's a process, but it's fun.
We're from the University of Kansas. We're architecture students. Well, being architecture students, we're really interested in rebuilding New Orleans, and so we are giving up our spring break to come here and help out any way we can.
You know, the house has got so much architectural history and value to it that you see what could be, because some of these houses have already been put up and have already kind of been restored, and you see what the potential is, and the people here are just so nice and so friendly that it's like they deserve it, you know. The flood didn't happen by anything that they did. It wasn't their fault that the water came. So we're here to try to help them utilize as much resources as possible.
We think the gas is shut off here, but we're not 100% certain. This isn't a job that's just going to be finished up, you know, anytime soon. There's a lot of work to be done, and so we've got to keep people coming, keep the volunteer effort going strong in order to make that happen.